Hey guys, so I know it's been a really long time since I've posted, and there's reasons for that. As I've gotten older, the more I feel like social media is much more toxic, and it's been toxic enough for me where it's causing me anxiety, and so that's one of the reasons why I've stopped filming as much, but there's some things that I feel like are still very worth mentioning. And one of the things that I've been going through in the most recently, in the last like a month and a half, I broke my toe. See? I broke my toe. Bootsy couture, isn't it pretty? Yeah. So here's the thing. The reason why I got into this business is because I got injured during pregnancy. Well, during delivery, technically. And I'm going to remind everyone, once postpartum, you're always postpartum. Postpartum is not the first year after having a baby. If you want to come at me saying I'm wrong, then we can talk one-on-one. But once postpartum, always postpartum. And with that injury, and I've preached this over a long period of time, that injuries, you need to start slowly and return back to working out. And that can be very frustrating. And right now, I am in the frustration part. My husband will even tell you.
Yeah.
So, injuries can be on multiple levels. Pregnancy could be pelvic floor issues. You could have had sutures from having a C-section. You could have broken your tailbone like I did, along with a 3rd-degree tear. You may have pelvic floor stretching. You may have diastasis recti, which everyone will get that. But most of the time, it can resolve on its own, but you still have to be smart about how quickly you return to working out. I broke just a toe. Just a toe. And if you've never broken a toe, there's not really a whole lot that can be done with toes, except wearing a beautiful boot for 6 weeks. Long story short, I broke it on September 2nd, and I knew that I couldn't really do a whole lot for it, so I had been keeping my shoes off and attempting to let it heal. Lo and behold, I re-injured it just 2.5 weeks ago by stubbing my same broken toe into a dumbbell. And I had myself a big old slice of humble pie. I went to the doctor. By the way, thank you, Excelsior. I will tag you in this post for helping me out on such short notice and giving me a boot. But it has given me an opportunity to really step back and reevaluate and reintroduce it in a way that I preach to my clients. And I need to start taking my own advice. So, today, I'm actually going to post this workout. One of the things with any kind of leg injury, foot injury, toe injury, you can't do a whole lot. You can do basic daily activities like walking upstairs, walking around your house, crutches if you have to have them, wearing a boot, and your body over a 6-week period of time will slowly change, and eventually you will lose up to 3% of all that muscle that you just built up over the course of whatever time that you've built that up. For example, if you stop working out for 2 weeks, you will lose a portion of muscle mass automatically. There's no way around it. And it's very easy to get that gain back. If it's longer than that, it takes much longer for you to repair that loss of muscle and to gain that back. I'm going on a month and a half, so I know after 8 weeks, I'm gonna have quite a bit of recovery to do. But on top of the broken toe, I have also had some hormonal issues that have really affected my mental health, my stomach, and I've lost almost 15 pounds and God knows how much muscle mass. I mean, I'm very skinny now. I know, woe is me. But it's because I've lost all that muscle mass that I've worked years to gain. And I've got a much bigger battle ahead of me now than I did, 6 months ago. I am starting perimenopause. It's like ramping up. I've been in perimenopause since I was, I think, like 31 or something. I got my period when I was 10, so I got it very early. I had just turned 10, actually, when I got mine. So my body is trying to go into menopause a lot earlier than most women. I am 42, I'm not that old, but that's just how my body works. And so I'm trying to pass that knowledge on to you. So you feel like you are a little bit more prepared and you might know who to go to in order to help with that. So after all this lovely verbal diarrhea that I've given you about my updated version of myself, I will post the workout that I did today. So although I have a broken toe, I can't do a whole lot in the gym. I can't lift as much as I want to. I cannot do squats as easily, and there's a reason why, because the boot has one height on it, and then my sneakers and bare feet have a different height. So when you lift, it will make your hips uneven, and then you will start to gain muscle in weird ways, and then you're going to be going to the chiropractor and be like, why am I so out of joint? And then you'll figure out, oh, I was really working out hard with that boot on, or I didn't work out the way that I probably should have, and you got yourself out of kilter. So I am being graceful with myself, and I'm being patient, which you should too, and you're entitled to be patient with yourself. I'm going to post something a little bit later about my mental health. I think it is time for me to start sharing that kind of portion of my life. I feel like I have a lot more to say about that than I do with preaching fitness. And I have my own opinions on the fitness industry right now, as well as the medical industry. And my goals are starting to slightly change, and some things are not as fulfilling anymore. And there's a lot of information that's available to us on social media. So I think we're going to try and get back to basics and really trying to simplify things and not pigeonhole myself into just prenatal and postpartum fitness. It is needed. It is very needed. And I'm not saying I'm quitting it. By no means I'm not giving that up. So if you are pregnant and you are postpartum, which, what's postpartum? Always postpartum. Which means that anytime after you have a baby, you can still come see me. We're just changing slight directions. There's also a few things that I am going to be starting that I feel like are going to be very important to me in terms of how my job makes me happy. And that's offering training to young girls. Do you remember when you were 13 years old and you started sports and everything was weird? You didn't know what the hell you were doing. You had this beefy man-child as a coach dictating and screaming at you just to keep fucking going. Don't stop. You should be lifting harder. You need more practice, and just making you barrel through it. But then they didn't educate women or girls at all on how to lift, how to compose themselves in the gym, how to be confident and know what they're doing. And so I feel like that is my new path, or one more branch that I feel like is very necessary, is starting when girls are 10 to 14 years old and teaching them it's okay to lift weights, and teaching them how to lift weights and when to do it and how often and the right way and the non-scary way, and just getting them a little bit more confident on them exercising in the gym without having to feel those nerves of going into a big Globo gym and being embarrassed about their body, or embarrassed that they're using something incorrectly, or guys staring at them, or just having the confidence to say, you know what, no thank you, I don't need help, I didn't ask for help, I'm going to keep doing my own thing, you can stay over there. So if you have a daughter that is in sports, or you think would like to learn more about weightlifting and how to learn about their bodies in such an important period of their lives, I am starting small classes. No more than 4 girls. I'm not going over 4 because that's just too big. Having more than 4 girls can cause some nerves. And I think if I go over 4, I'm not going to give each child the attention that they deserve if they're going to be in here. It will only be a 3-week program. It'll be only twice a week, okay? But it'll give them the basics. And then if they want more, they can always sign up for either one-on-one, or we can come up with longer training sessions, or maybe a more experienced class might come up after school. But let me know your thoughts, okay? I'm at almost a 10-minute video. I know that if you guys were able to watch this, I really appreciate it. I know it's a lot to take in, but again, I felt like this was a really important message. And again, if you were able to watch it till the very end, thank you so much for listening to my verbal diarrhea. I really do appreciate it, and I love you all. Like and subscribe, just like everybody else.